Facebook. How are you today on this February 14th, Valentine's Day, Day of Love? Although I'm not a big corporate holiday thing, but I am very much into walking in love. And so any reason to celebrate love or highlight love, I am there because for me, my interpretation of the word is a lot of love because he says that is the greatest among these. So I'm going to talk a little bit on something that he has shown me, but then how I have applied it to myself, which is always an important thing because if we can't apply his teachings to ourselves, what are they worth? Nada, right? So I'm almost done here. There we go. That is good enough. They're reaching for dogs underneath my lap here. Anyway, I want to talk about love here, and what loving ourselves looks like in retrospect to what the Father showed me on synchronicity, how love and synchronicity go very much hand in hand. And I should probably explain that a little bit because it could be taken the wrong way. Because what I saw was when you are in sync with somebody, when you're vibing with anybody, and that could be a best friend, a spouse, a child, it could be like anybody. But when you're vibing with them, when things are going good, you're in sync. And that doesn't necessarily mean that they're a mirror cookie cutter image of you, that you're the same. That isn't necessarily what being in sync is. It is, hold on, I gotta grab a little purse,
Also the dog that was eating, but okay.
I can't, sorry, you have to wait. Anyway, got disrupted and now I've got to retake my thoughts.
Sorry.
Yes, she said sorry. When you are in sync with somebody, you just kind of know it, but it's not a cookie cutter thing. It's not them being exactly the same as you. You can have separate interests. You can be your own person. But when you mesh together and there is a in sync feeling, that's what I'm talking about. That's where love is, when you're feeling that's in sync with somebody. And then I started ruminating on that and go, I really feel we have the two greatest commandments. Love the Lord God with your whole heart, mind, soul, and strength. And then love your neighbor as yourself. But in the middle of those two commandments is an unspoken one. And that is loving yourself, because you can't love others without loving yourself. And you really can't love yourself without accepting the love of the Father, knowing who he has put in you. And that's some of that synchronicity too. But loving yourself is that in between there, that's very, very important. And how can I apply that synchronicity to myself? And do I have that synchronicity with myself? And the question, or the big thing I think to be able to tell that, is what is going on in my head? What is going on in my self-talk? Am I harder on myself than I am the people I am around? Yeah. Is it easier for me to call myself a dumb nut than other people? Yeah. Is it easier for me to be very, very, very self-critical on all? I mean, and this is a woman's issue. It's something we all struggle with. But having that synchronicity in myself, I wouldn't be, like if I was in sync with a best friend or a spouse, I wouldn't be calling them names and being ugly with them, because essentially that's what I'm doing, is being ugly with myself. And when I am that way, I started thinking, I really can't be open to the Father's blessings. I can want to be open. I can have that in my very conscious awareness that, yes, of course I want God's blessing. Of course I do. That's like a duh. Anybody would say, yeah, of course I do. But if my internal dialogue with myself is harsh and icky and yucky, am I really going to be open to that? Because I really don't believe, if I'm speaking to myself that way, I really at my core don't believe I deserve those blessings. Am I speaking to anybody here? Anybody at all? Say hi below if you're watching. If you're going to watch it on the replay, say replay. I know this is some kind of heady stuff, but it's really important, I feel, because if we're being ugly to ourselves, if our self-dialogue is so ugly, then I believe we can't be open to the blessings. Hey, Cassandra, I don't think we can be open to the blessings of the Father because we don't feel that we're worthy. So that's kind of where I have been working on me and reflecting on me. And today with this word of love and synchronicity and how those work together and applying it to myself and how I can be in better sync with myself. And that's one thing is, and I've been working on this, is that self-talk. Getting rid of me being ugly to me. Hey, Sonia. Because if we're ugly to ourselves, it is just so much harder to get over everything else. I am listening to a book and she talks about, she brings it into having integrity for yourself. If I make promises to myself, I'm going to start running. Hey, Rhonda, how are you? Happy Valentine's Day. If I'm going to start running or an exercise program, but my internal dialogue is yucky and I am more likely to fail and I don't keep promises to myself. I don't have integrity for myself, and it's all building that. And I am starting to grasp this and understand that I play a bigger part in my success or failure in my life. I mean, that seems like it's a duh thing, but we as human beings tend to have excuses or reasons. I can't lose weight because fill in the blank. I have a low metabolism. It's raining here all the time. I don't have a good pair of shoes to run with. Whatever. We can come up with 8 million, or I will start when. All different excuses, and that might be there, but what is preventing from here to here from you doing that? We make excuses to ourselves. Whereas if you made arrangements, your best friend said, hey, let's go to a movie tonight. And you're like, yeah, all right. Or let's go work out tonight. Will you meet me at the gym? And you say yes, you're going to be there. You'll keep a promise to your best friend, right? But we won't keep a promise to ourselves. That's not real good self-love. And like I said, you're not really even open to the Father's blessings. So I've been working on this a lot on myself, realizing, one, that He loves me with an unending love and that He sees me through His Son's eyes. Why? Because I have accepted what He has done for me. If you don't know Him personally and you need to know Him, or if you have questions, I'm really willing to ask, and not from a religious standpoint, but from a purely love standpoint. But that I'm just explaining what my thought is on this. And if I have Him in me and He's viewing me through Him, He already sees me as perfect because the Messiah was perfect. I'm not saying I, Kathy Wilson, am perfect. We all, like I said, our self-talk will let us know we're not that. But that's not how He sees me. That's not how He sees you. If we can be gracious to our friends, let's work on being gracious to us and accepting the blessings, taking responsibility for our negative thoughts, our negative whatever, and not having those reasons we can't do something. That's lies to ourselves, really. Excuses are lies to ourselves. Other people usually can see through our excuses. I don't know if any of you have adult children out there, but you will hear the excuses and you can see right through it. You know, right? I do. We see it. But we are the ones that we're lying to ourselves, and we are gullible at the same time. It's like, oh, yeah, that's right. I can't do that because of this. This is right. And you hold it up as a badge, a courage or whatever. This is my reason. And I'm not saying there can be physical limitations. I'm not saying everybody fits into that point, but most of us do. Most of us are believing that the excuses that others would see through. It's just the way we are. And I don't want to be that anymore. Do you? I don't want to be the person with a laundry list of excuses of why I'm not living life the way I should or could or would if I didn't have those excuses. So, let's see if I can find a little somebody. I have a little announcement here. Hold on. I have to bend down because in my work, I've been doing on myself, being open to the Father's blessings. Let me try to lower this so you can see beyond the words here. This is Sasha. She is a purebred standard poodle. She is going to be my tripod fell. She is going to be a really big girl. We're really, really excited to have her. Reds are really beautiful, and she's got an amazing lineage. How that ties into this is last Friday I had an epiphany. It started with this, and I've gotten it. It's been building. When the Father starts giving you truths on things, it starts building. And I started realizing that I wasn't open to his blessing. How can he bless me if I've got all these blocks up there about being negative and yucky and all of that stuff? How can he do that? And so I started working and praying and releasing and letting go of some of this old junk of myself. And then Saturday, I was looking for my daughter, who wanted a reptile. And I was looking on one of the local sales sites, and I clicked on a picture of her. And I wasn't in the market. I'm not in the market. And I fought it every step of the way. And I am telling you, the Father was like, I am sending you something that is a blessing. Her name, it was like everything about her has been every step of the way, supernatural. His fingerprint all over it, including her name. He gave me her name, Sasha. After he gave it to me, after we already decided that was it. I got a hair on one of my hairs. Anyway, I looked up what the name Sasha means, defender of man, which is just a beautiful thing. We also found out after we purchased her that if you have ever watched Duck Dynasty, Sai's poodle that he brings in, I don't know what season or anything like that, I just know that he has it. She is a descendant of him. His name was Cooper, and she would be his great-great-granddaughter. And she shows every bit of being the solid dog that he is. He has a huge list of awards, and she's just a really amazing girl. But it has nothing to do with her. I mean, it's wonderful, and I am so glad that she is in our life. We are all just over the moon about her attitude and how she has just fit into our family. But again, I had to be open to that. I had to be open to being good enough. And, like I said, I'm really good. I have a long laundry list. I can tell you why I am not good enough. But the realization had to come that I am good enough because of his Son. He sees me as such. There is no shame. There is therefore no condemnation. So why then am I picking up condemnation over myself? Like I said, we are so hard on ourselves, especially as women. How can we have self-care or even follow through on self-care if at the root we really don't care at all for ourselves? As in like, no, don't care for that person. Because if you hear ourselves talk, if we're talking that icky, yucky smack to ourselves, that's not how we would talk to anybody but a mortal enemy. And I'm pretty sure I wouldn't even talk to another human being the way I have talked to myself. I mean, you wouldn't catch me dead talking icky yucky to somebody else. But yet in my head, it has been there. And that is sad. I had to repent for that because I am essentially dissing what the Father has done in and through me. So I want to encourage you to take a hard look at you. Look in the mirror. Hear the voices that are up here. And if they're icky and yucky and condemning, rewatch this and listen and take hold and let go. Let go of those images of you and realize that in order for you to have self-care, which is going to lead to health care and healing inside and out, In order to have that, you've got to first love yourself. And before that, you've got to accept the love of the Father. Because he does, man, he does with everything. Just look outside, look around you. We could have lived in a world of black and white. We could have lived in a world with no flavor. We have foods that have flavor. We have birds that sing and colors that are vibrant. He did that because he loved us. He didn't create an environment for us to live in that was drab and yucky. He gave us just the most amazing thing, and we're part of that. Anyway, I could go on and on and on. I just wanted to talk and put the seed in you that it is time for some self-care. It is time for some synchronicity within yourself, where you are meshing with your own self, that your subconscious is not fighting, that there is not this battle going on within yourself about whatever is going on inside of you. I mean, we all have got different issues. We all have a different background coming here. But if there's hurt and pain, which most of us have, and fear and yucky, the only one that can fix that is truly you. You have to take that step. You have to be open and willing to let go. And oftentimes what is holding us back is we don't know really who we are. And it scares us. If we let go of these labels that we are, I am sick, I am even mom, grandma, I have diabetes, I have brown eyes, all of those labels that we put on our outside. If we can't see through those, good job, Rhonda. If we can't see through those labels and start taking off those labels, don't be afraid of who you are, because the Father, I'm going to start crying. I'm telling you, the Father does not make junk. You don't have to live behind those labels. Not 1 second more. And let me tell you, they don't even hurt coming off. Just lay them down. He wants to work through you. He wants to work for you. He wants to bless you. But if you got all this stuff, if you've accepted all of these lies about yourself, his hands are tied. Not you. You have the power. You have the power to make the choice. Today is Valentine's Day. Take some time before you love others and take a moment and think about these things. See how much you are working on the inside of you. If you need help, if you need to talk to somebody, if you just need a hug, holler at me. I'm here for you, truly. I truly love you, because God really does love you. Like the Maker, King of Kings, Lord of Lords. He loves you. No matter who you are, where you are, what you have done, what has happened in your life up to this moment, I guarantee you, he loves you. And I can show it to you. Just have to give me a chance. Love y'all. Happy Valentine's Day. Happy day of love. Love yourself.